I had been dropped off of B&A Records, so I didn't have anything else to do. We even canceled my last 3 tour dates, which was October of '06. Wade Battle, he'd been out there for all of those tour dates, and we kind of felt like something was taken away from us. Mm-hmm. You and me and Wade met at the old Windswept.
Mm-hmm. And at the time, I mean, Jamey was an artist, Wade and I were just songwriters. You know, we was trying to get cuts, you know, and get songs on the radio. That was our job.
Before going any further, be sure to subscribe to our channel. We appreciate that so much.
Fans of country music may finally anticipate Jamey Johnson's next album after a long 14-year wait. Midnight Gasoline is more than just another record for the Alabama-born artist. It's a profoundly intimate meditation on friendships that endure loss and change. For Johnson, who last put out music while his daughter was still a little toddler, the time between albums has been substantial. Barack Obama was president at the time. At the time, Toby Keith was still alive, Taylor Swift was still a country singer, and not many people had heard of Chris Stapleton. Now, Stapleton is the current king of modern country music, Swift is a worldwide pop sensation, Keith passed away tragically from cancer, and Johnson's daughter is a college student. The death of Keith was a major factor in Johnson's decision to pursue music again. Johnson was inspired to carry on his friend's legacy after realizing that, although Keith had made a complete contribution to music, he still had a lot more to offer. This realization inspired the 12-track album Midnight Gasoline, which will be released on November 8th. Johnson's new work, which was produced with the assistance of close friends Chris Stapleton, Randy Houser, Dean Dillon, and Ernest, is the culmination of years of songwriting and life experiences. Johnson recorded for this project at a place that had special meaning for him, the old studio where Johnny Cash and June Carter formerly worked. This decision gives each track a little bit of history while also grounding the album in the tradition of country music. To make sure this record reached his listeners without the financial burden of self-releasing music, Johnson joined Warner Music Nashville. For Johnson, producing music wasn't always simple. He acknowledged that the expenses of recording frequently felt like a losing investment for a considerable amount of time. I wasn't even worried about making another album, Johnson admits. I simply never managed to turn it into a profitable endeavor for myself. He put off making new music for years, and many of his CDs cost more than they brought in. When the music business changed, Johnson managed to record without taking the risk of financial hardship. Johnson discovered a helpful framework to reintroduce his music to listeners by collaborating with Chris Lacey, an old friend who is currently the co-chair and co-president of Warner Music Nashville. Chris Lacey told Johnson that the genre needed his music and voice, so he urged him to go back to the studio. With this backing, Johnson started compiling the tracks that would become Midnight Gasoline, going over decades worth of material and picking out those that resonated with his current stage of life. In order to free up time and energy for writing and other creative endeavors, Johnson has restricted his 2024 tour itinerary to 50 dates. Someday When I'm Old is one of the standout tracks from Midnight Gasoline. This song, which was written by Amy Mayo, Chris Lindsay, and Troy Verges, has been a staple of Johnson's life for almost 20 years. Despite not having written it himself, Johnson has a strong emotional bond with it because he sang the demo in 2004. The song has remained with him ever since, reflecting his experiences as he saw his daughter mature. As a parent, Johnson can relate to the lyrics, which convey his sentimental longing and love for his family with lines like, "Yeah, someday when I'm old, I'll keep chewing gum in my front pocket and cold Dr. Pepper in the fridge." His thoughts on the speed at which time is passing are also reflected in the song. Someday When I'm Old is more than just a song on Johnson's CD. It's the theme music for his life, he reveals. He recalls the hope and excitement he felt when he became a father for the first time, eagerly anticipating the years ahead. Now, he is experiencing those years and cherishing every moment, especially as he watches his daughter grow. This song, which reflects Johnson's experiences and dreams for the future, serves as an emotional anchor for him in many ways. What You Answer To, another song on the album, has a history that goes back to 2008. Johnson, brothers AJ and Jeremy Popoff, and Ira Dean started working on the song. It wasn't quite mashed potatoes, Johnson says of the song's composition. Somewhere in there were still some lumps. We needed to figure out a few things. Despite many incomplete parts, Johnson decided to revisit the song because of recent changes in the political and social landscape that made it more relevant. What You Answer To is Johnson's opinion on the state of the world, not a political statement in any particular direction. His intention with this song is to express his opinion on current events, not to elicit a particular emotion from any listener.